We are back on Inside Politics today. Our guest is Gray Sasser. He's the head of the Vanderbilt Unity Project, looking to maintain our civil society and our American democracy. Gray, your approach to civility and maintaining democratic systems may seem a bit simplistic to some. Can we really change things by holding classes and seminars on college campuses? Doesn't there have to be more to it than that?
Well, we got to start somewhere, Pat. And I think we can model it. We can promote it. We're part of, there's a whole bunch of different organizations all across the country that are working on this issue that have seen the problems of polarization and hyperpartisanship. We want to be part of the solution. We're not going to have all the answers, but we want to work with those groups and those individuals who are willing to commit their time and resources to do it.
There are also some things you're doing, I think, to actually already to reach out to the public. There are some things going on campus that people can get involved with, or at least events they can come to. I don't know if they do it online as well as in person. Talk about what you're doing also on a monthly basis to have people come and get involved in your program.
Sure. We're all online right now. I'd encourage people to come to our website. You can find it just by searching the Vanderbilt Unity Project. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook, etc. We're doing monthly events. We've done the one that just aired recently was with 4 Vanderbilt scholars talking about immigration and refugees. Prior to that, we've done programs on vaccines, vaccine hesitancy. We led off with a program with Al Gore and Condoleezza Rice. We've had Democratic Congressman David Price of North Carolina. And the next program we'll be doing we'll be featuring our former mayor, Bill Purcell, in conversation with the Republican mayor of Oklahoma City, talking about municipal government and how that might be is that the last bastion of effective democracy in the country?
There's always been a lot of in-party fighting among the two major political parties, but there is a bit of a concern about a growing division in both parties with, say, progressive and moderates in the Democratic Party fighting over President Biden's legislative agenda, while Republicans seem to be split between party regulars and the GOP base that's aligned with President Trump. Are you concerned that our two-party system may be on its last legs?
Well, for a whole litany of reasons, it's going to be really hard to develop a third party here in the United States. So I think that if we can get back to a situation where each of those two parties is a relatively big tent, in those two parties you can have that inter-party fighting like you're seeing on the Democratic side, on the infrastructure side, and hopefully we'll see back on the Republican side when the fight is no longer about loyalty to one man, but maybe a competition of ideas. Those two big tents can act as, in some ways, giant cooling tanks for the political discourse. And so you can have that inter-party fighting, and then once it reaches this level on Capitol Hill, maybe there could be a chance to achieve some sort of consensus.
In the past, candidates ran in both parties during their primaries by running to their party's bases, the Democrats, progressives on the left, Republicans, the conservatives on the right. But former President Trump kind of changed that. He ran to his base of voters on the conservative side, but when he won, he never reached back when he got into office to anybody else beyond his base. Has politics changed going forward, or is Mr. Trump just an outlier in how his political appeal and not likely to be duplicated by other candidates?
I think we're going to see Mr. Trump as an outlier in history for very, very many reasons. And you have to remember that his strategy failed, Pat. He lost the House, the Senate, and the presidency. It'll be interesting to see what the future holds, but that narrow appeal to one segment or base voters, I think, was proven ineffective strategy in the last election, and will be proven ineffective going forward.
Very briefly, what you mentioned parties being ineffective. The Democratic Party in Tennessee has been pretty ineffective for quite some years now. How does the party get back to become relevant in statewide politics in Tennessee? Because it's not right now.
I think it's a slow process. I don't envy the current chairman of the party. It's a tough job. I think a couple things have to happen. Number one, I think we're going to see eventual demographic changes. We've seen it already. I like to say that I think, believe it or not, Williamson County becomes kind of the bellwether for future Democratic success. We've seen slow but sure upticks in Democratic performance in those suburban counties, and when those counties flip a little bit more, like you've seen in Northern Virginia, the suburbs of Raleigh, the suburbs of Atlanta, I think that's when you're going to see the resurgence of a Democratic Party here in the state of Tennessee.
You see this program as unit at Vanderbilt as a multi-year effort. What might your organization, you think, look like in 5 years?
Well, it'd be great that if we could put ourselves out of business in less than 5 years. But I think some of these problems are going to be with us for quite some time. We hope that we started this as a multi-year effort. What we want to be able to do is continue to feature these discussions for as long as we feel that they're adding value to the local and national conversations.
We're about a minute or so left. Again, if people want some more information or they want to get involved in the Vanderbilt Unity Project, how do they go about doing that?
Well, it's pretty easy. Again, please check out our website, search Vanderbilt Project on Unity and American Democracy. Check out our Twitter feed. Check us out on LinkedIn. If you get really desperate, you can shoot me an email at gray.sasser@vanderbilt.edu, and I'll try to get back to you. But we'd love the support. We would welcome participation, and we would welcome the hard questions. And we say that we want.
Gray Sasser, thank you so much. Good luck to you on the Vanderbilt Unity Project. We may have you back to talk about that and talk about politics in general. So again, thank you for being on the program.
Great to see you, Pat, and hope to see you in person next time.
And thank you again for joining us on Inside Politics. Hope you'll be back here again for a future show. If you can't get enough politics in the meantime, you can go to the News Channel 5 website. You'll find my Capitol View commentary there. The Zoo commentary posted every Friday afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you here next time. Goodbye.
We done, gentlemen?